Before the war ended, before the empire fell, a fleet vanished beneath the waves. Beneath the murky depths of the Baltic Sea lies a forgotten graveyard, the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg. These wrecks are not just metal and rust, they are whispers from the past, silent witnesses to the collapse of a once mighty navy. As the Red Army advanced and Königsberg burned, crews scuttled their own ships to keep them from enemy hands. In the chaos, hundreds of tons of steel and countless lives vanished into the Pregel's dark waters, lost beneath the waves, buried in silence and forgotten by time, until now. In the spring of 1945, as the Red Army swept through East Prussia, the once proud city of Königsberg stood on the brink of destruction. What was once the shining jewel of the German Empire had become a wasteland of smoke, fire, and shattered stone. The sound of artillery echoed through the ruins as Soviet forces closed in, leaving the city's defenders trapped and desperate. Amid the chaos, deep within the harbor, the German naval forces faced an impossible decision: to surrender their ships or send them to the bottom of the sea. These were not just vessels of steel and power. They were symbols of pride, of an empire that refused to die quietly. And so, in one final act of defiance, the order was given. Engines roared for the last time, and crews set the charges. The waters of the Pregel River trembled as explosions tore through the hulls. One by one the warships slipped beneath the surface, swallowed by the cold, dark depths of the Baltic Sea. Today they rest in silence, a ghostly fleet frozen in time, hidden beneath layers of silt and memory, forgotten by history, yet forever bound to the final days of a dying empire. This is the story of the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg, where the echoes of war still whisper beneath the waves. Under the veil of night on April 10, 1945, as flames still burned across Königsberg's shattered skyline, the German Navy began Operation Yunus, a final desperate act to deny their fleet to the advancing Soviets. In the eerie stillness of the harbor, sailors moved like shadows, laying mines and setting charges deep within the ships' hulls. The cold air was thick with tension. Every creak of metal, every spark of a fuse echoed like a heartbeat in the dark. Explosions soon tore through the silence. One after another, the ships groaned and sank into the black waters of the Pregel River. But the operation was far from flawless. Chaos reigned as orders were confused, detonations mistimed, and vessels collided in their descent. By dawn, the harbor had transformed into a graveyard of steel, a tangled maze of wreckage and twisted masts. The German fleet was gone, but so was any sense of order. What remained was silence, and the beginning of a mystery that would sleep beneath the Baltic for decades. The Ghost Fleet of Königsberg wasn't just a handful of forgotten wrecks. It was once a proud formation of Germany's naval might. Hidden beneath the cold Baltic waters lay a striking variety of warships, destroyers, torpedo boats, and minesweepers, each with its own story, its own crew, and its own fate. Among the most notable were the Nürnberg, a sleek and powerful light cruiser, and the SMS Preußen, a relic of an earlier era, a battleship that had once symbolized the strength of the Kaiser's navy. Together, they embodied both the evolution and the downfall of German maritime power. These vessels were more than just machines of war. They were floating fortresses, testaments to engineering precision and human ambition. And when they went down, they didn't just take steel and fire with them. They took memories, secrets, and the last breath of a dying empire. For decades, the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg was nothing more than a whisper, a legend passed between fishermen, divers, and locals who swore they'd seen shadows moving beneath the waves. Some claimed strange shapes appeared on sonar scans. Others spoke of metallic echoes coming from the depths. But the truth remained hidden until the 1990s. That's when a series of systematic searches began, this time armed not with rumor, but with technology. Using advanced sonar mapping and remotely operated underwater vehicles, researchers finally began to uncover what had long been buried beneath layers of silt and silence. One by one, the ghostly outlines of ships began to appear on screens, frozen in time, their hulls broken but still unmistakably proud. The discovery reignited fascination with Königsberg's forgotten naval chapter, shedding new light on the desperate final days of the war and the secrets the Baltic had kept for half a century. Attempting to salvage the Ghost Fleet was anything but simple. The operation quickly turned into a test of endurance and precision. Decades beneath the water had taken their toll. The ships were mangled beyond recognition, their hulls twisted and fused together like a graveyard of steel. Thick layers of silt buried much of the wreckage, and visibility in the cold, murky depths was almost non-existent. Divers described the experience as descending into a metallic maze, silent, disorienting, and dangerous. Strong currents from the Pregel River made every movement a struggle, while the ever-present threat of unexploded ordnance lurking nearby turned each dive into a gamble with fate. Despite the risks, the mission continued. Piece by piece, history was unearthed, fragments of a lost navy brought back into the light, whispering the stories of those final desperate days of the war. Despite the immense challenges, salvage operations over the years have revealed some truly fascinating discoveries. From the silent depths, divers have recovered relics that tell the human side of the war. Fragments of naval uniforms still bearing faded insignias, rusted weapons preserved by the cold water, and personal belongings that once belonged to the sailors who went down with their ships. Each artifact feels like a whisper from the past. A torn journal page, a dented helmet, a pocket watch frozen in time. These discoveries offer more than just physical remnants. They paint a haunting picture of life aboard those doomed vessels during the final desperate days of Königsberg. Through these relics we catch a glimpse of courage, duty, and tragedy, echoes of a navy that refused to surrender even as the tides of war closed in around them. Despite the progress made in uncovering the Ghost Fleet, countless questions still linger beneath the surface. What secrets lie sealed within those rusting hulls, untouched for nearly a century? Could there be hidden compartments containing valuable documents, advanced wartime technology, or personal records lost to history? The murky waters of the Pregel still guard their mysteries well. Even with modern sonar and diving technology, many of the ships remain only partially explored, their interiors twisted, flooded, and silent. No one truly knows what else might rest within the darkness below. And perhaps the greatest mystery of all, just how much destruction did Operation Junos actually cause? Were all the ships deliberately sunk, or did some fall victim to something far more chaotic? The answers may still lie waiting, buried in the silt and shadows of Königsberg's forgotten river. The Ghost Fleet of Königsberg stands as a haunting reminder of the human cost of war and of the relentless power of the sea to both preserve and conceal history. Beneath the cold, dark waters of the Baltic, the rusting hulls of these ships whisper stories of courage, desperation, and loss. They are more than just wrecks. They are monuments to the ambition and ingenuity of German engineers and to the sailors who gave everything in the final chaotic days of World War II. Decades may pass, currents may shift, but the legend of the Ghost Fleet endures, echoing through the silence of the deep. It remains a powerful symbol of how war reshapes not only nations, but the very depths of the oceans themselves. The story of Königsberg's lost fleet continues to captivate historians and explorers alike, ensuring that these forgotten war machines and the men who once commanded them will never truly fade from memory. The fate of the Ghost Fleet remains shrouded in uncertainty. Some believe the ships should be left where they rest, silent guardians beneath the waves, serving as a memorial to the lives lost in the chaos of war. Others argue they should be raised and preserved, allowing future generations to study and remember the engineering marvels they once were. Whichever path history takes, one thing is certain: the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg will never fade into obscurity. Its story will continue to echo through time, reminding us of the price of war, the depth of human ambition, and the mysteries still hidden beneath the sea. Beneath the cold, silent waves of the Baltic Sea, the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg lies in eternal slumber, a haunting testament to a forgotten chapter of history. Down there, where sunlight fades and silence reigns, the echoes of war still linger, whispering stories long lost to time. Were these ships simply victims of circumstance, or do they guard secrets still waiting to be uncovered? Perhaps the truth remains hidden, resting forever in the depths, a reminder that some mysteries of war were never meant to surface. The story of the Ghost Fleet of Königsberg stands as a haunting reminder of how fragile peace can be, and how deeply the echoes of war can linger through time. It's a tale of human ambition and sacrifice, of a once mighty navy that vanished beneath the waves, leaving behind only silence and mystery. Beneath the surface, their legacy endures, a silent testament to the price of conflict and the secrets the sea refuses to give up.